are completely different cultures, completely different races,
families, religions,
everything's so different with us. And we've had a lot of opinions from, you know,
family and outside of family.
Outside of family, it happens, and you need to be confident in yourself, otherwise that will just break you down and break your relationship down.
That's another aspect of this whole thing.
I'm a Jehovah's Witness.
Where you from country?
I'm Angolan and Jamaican. My dad's Angolan, mom's side is Jamaican. And
I am Latvian, Russian.
A bit like me.
So Luai's really got a
got a whole mix.
He's got a whole mix there.
So I'm a village girl.
If you did that test, you would get like 10% here.
Everything.
100%.
Yeah, that's obviously another aspect of it. Just you guys being from totally different cultures. And I've not anything serious, but I've spoken to girls here and there that's from totally different culture than me. And I'm obviously thinking to myself, like, what's the point of me even entertaining this? Because we're so from different lives.
It just wouldn't.
Yeah. So that even talking to someone, I feel that how big of a factor was that?
Do you know what? It wasn't massive. The thing is, I feel like both me and Tyler are very understanding people, so it wasn't a massive factor. It was. I think the only thing that made it difficult was the opinions and the outside, like. Don't you think?
Yeah.
And I think as well, because we come from very different backgrounds, but at the same time we're very similar as well.
We both know
in regards to our mentalities very similar, so that's why it was able to work anyway.
I've always said that Tyler's like the male version of me. Like everything he said to me, like when we were like in this, like even now to this day, like he'll say things, I'm like, oh my god, like I literally thought this my whole life. Like sounds so stupid, but like even like his dream car is like the same dream car as I have. And like things like we say like, oh, we're gonna do this in the future, and I'm like, oh my god, I literally wanted to do that in the future. Like just little things, but like we literally are the same person from different cultures, I guess.
Was that one of the biggest factors to get over?
What
was that the cultural thing, how you guys culturally from different, was that one of the biggest factors? Or
I think it just kind of gelled together.
We just gelled like as people, like we literally, I think for us, like we literally blocked out our cultures, our races, and we just focused on each other as people, which I think is really important. Like I feel nowadays everyone's like, oh my god, like they focus on everything else apart from the actual personality of the person. Like, oh, what's he wearing? How much money does he have? Where does he come from? That's not important. Do you know what I mean? It's really not at the end of the day. If you love each other, you love each other. Like
how like prominent is the thought of raising a mixed race child? Because I speak to mixed race people now, and their stories can range ridiculously. Like you could speak to a mixed race person who grew up with a white family, with predominantly the white side of the family, and their white side of the family can be racist sort of black people, and how that can mess them up. You speak to mixed race people who grew up predominantly their black side of the family, and they don't really identify as a mixed race; they identify as a black person. So it's like, how prominent is that thought of how we're gonna?
It's a really good question, actually.
Raise a mixed race child.
I feel like with Luai, we'll never try and hide one part of his culture. I feel like the best thing is just to say, this is who you are. You know, this part of your family is from here, this part of your family is from here, and so forth and so forth. And that's what makes you, you. And that's how I feel, because me, I'm obviously from two countries. So I'm like, I'm from both, not just from one. And I've always felt that way. I always will. So for him, I'd always like to think that he'll feel that same way. And that's what will make him comfortable.
It's funny because everybody's got their own perspective. Like me growing up, who I am, I have my own perspective. I never ever thought for a second about mixed race people. And then I got older and I realized, oh crap, that everyone else has whatever race you are, skin color you are, you have your own perspective and your own situations, your own reality. It reminds me of, do you guys know who Akala is? Sure. Akala. You know who Akala is? He's like an author, a rapper. He does very different stuff.
Yeah, I know. Okay, yeah.
And he's got a book called Natives. I don't know if I spoke about it before, but I don't know if I spoke about it in the podcast. But he's got a book called Natives, and he's mixed race. His mum's white from Scotland, I believe, and his dad's Jamaican. He grew up in like North London sides, and he talks a bit about a book about him growing up as a kid and realizing that he was different from his mum, as in off the face of it. He sort of grew up more with his mum, and he was in school, and of course this is like maybe early 2000s, whatever, and the kid some other white kid in the class, like primary school something, made a remark to him and his skin color. I forgot what the kid said, but something silly like kids say. And obviously the kid really didn't know what that means. The kid probably heard it from someone else, like in the household or whatever. He remembers that he was so angry about that. Even at that age, he was so angry that the kid said whatever the kid said. And he came home to tell his mum about it. And he went to go, my mum was asking, like, what did the kid say? And he went to go say it. And then it's like in that moment, he was talking about how he realized that, oh crap, like my mum is white, like she's not the same as me in that way. That's when he realized that, you know, the world is going to have a different view of him and his family than he is of him himself and his family. So it's like, that was probably the first thing I read, and it like even triggered me to think, oh crap, like
it's really interesting.
Yeah, like make sure these people actually they have a whole different sort of
completely different.
Yeah, they do, because like he can't really relate fully to Thailand, he can't relate fully to me. So yeah, that's a really
like. Of course, you guys are all a family and you're all one, but it's like the world isn't necessarily going to look at him as they look at you, and they will look at him as they look at you. So it's like that's something that make sure people have to go through. That's why I asked, like, was there any thought to it?
I guess there is now.